Hello, greetings to you all. Welcome to Data Communication and Networking 1. My name is Mr. Shehu Usman Mohammed, and I will be taking you on this course. So, as you can see on your screen, this is your study pack that has been sent to you on WhatsApp. So, here you have the table of contents on what we'll be taking. Now, we're going to start this course from Unit 1, Introduction to Data Communication. Okay, Introduction to Data Communication. Now, let's scale through what we have in the table of contents. So, when Unit 1, under Unit 1, you're going to describe what is a computer network. Unit 2, understanding the data link layer. Unit 3, understanding the fundamentals of the data link layer. Unit 4, understanding networking. Okay, then Unit 5, application layer services. Unit 6, network security. So these are all we are going to be taking, and I would like to let you guys understand that this material you have at your disposal has been condensed and made easier for you. So don't depend. We are not going to be depending only on this material, but this is what you have. These are the contents that the entire course is going to cover. But it is required that students do further studies, and that's why even us, your lecturers, will be using outside resources to teach this course. Okay, so that means apart from what you have on your study pack, this material you have on the screen, you will also be your teachers will be teaching you from other resources as well. So including myself, you will notice that as we move on. So that's why it's required that every student read and takes note of whatever is being said in their video lessons. Okay, so now we will start with Introduction to Data Communication. So I will read out to you now, and I'll be expecting that you guys will take note of whatever is being said. As like I said, some of what will be said is outside your study material that you have in front of you. Now, to start with, Introduction. Data communications and networking are changing the way we do business and the way we live. Business decisions have to be made ever more quickly, and the decision makers require immediate access to accurate information. Why wait a week for the report from Germany to arrive by mail when it could appear almost instantaneously through computer networks? Businesses today rely on computer networks and internetworks, but before we ask how quickly we can get hooked up, we need to know how networks operate, what types of technologies are available, and which design best fills which set of needs. Now, the development of the personal computer brought about tremendous changes for business, industry, science, and education. A similar revolution is occurring in data communications and networking. Technological advances are making it possible for communication links to carry more and faster signals. As a result, services are evolving to allow use of this expanded capacity. For example, established telephone services such as conference calling, call waiting, voicemail, and caller ID have been extended. Research in data communications and networking has resulted in new technologies. One goal is to be able to exchange data such as text, audio, and video from all points in the world. We want to access the internet to download and upload information quickly and accurately and at any time. So this is a brief introduction to data communication and networking. Now, for us to move on, I would like to say, as an addition, that under data communication now, when we communicate, we are sharing information. This sharing can be local or remote. Between individuals, local communication usually occurs face to face, while remote communication takes place over distance. Now, the term telecommunication. So let's go to our Word document here. So we have the term telecommunication. Okay. Telecommunication. So So now we are trying to define this word telecommunication to further make you understand where the word data communication stems from and what is related to it. Now the term telecommunication, which includes telephony. Now we are telling you that telecommunication includes or comprises of the following. The first you have is telephony. Okay, telephony. Then you have telegraphy. Okay. Telegraphy. Then you have television. You have television. Okay. All of this now, all these are means of communication at a distance. So now, telecommunication here, they are trying to tell you whether it is telephony, telegraphy, or television. It stands for communication at a distance. Communication. So let's do something like this and say communication at a distance. Okay, communication at a distance. So let's make all of this look bigger. Use the font. So we can make it 14. I think this is better. Okay. Yeah. Alright. So that is telecommunication. Now this word tele. So let's go down. You have the word tele. Okay. This word tele stems from the root word. From the root word, or let's say from the Greek word. Yeah, from the Greek word, which stands for far. So use this far. Okay, so the word tele is a Greek word. It's a Greek word that stands for or represents far, something that's far. That's why we said earlier on that it's a means of communication at a distance. Okay. Now the word data now. So moving on now. Data. Data refers to information, presented in any form agreed upon by the parties creating and using the data. By the parties creating and using data. Okay. So data refers to information presented in any form agreed upon by the parties creating and using the data. Now, data communications, we're going to define data communications now, refers, okay, I think also you have this, let's go back to your material and scroll down. Okay, so here, introduction to data communication. Data communication refers to the exchange of data between two devices. Okay, here you have that. Two devices via some form of transmission medium. So via VIA there stands for through. Okay, through some form of transmission medium such as cables, optical fibers, or wireless channels. The primary purpose of data communication is to facilitate the exchange of information between devices, allowing them to communicate and share data. Now, for data communication to occur, the communicating devices must be part of a communication system made up of a combination of hardware. So hardware now here, made up of hardware. So let's define that. Hardware. So hardware here stands for any physical component. Any physical component. Okay. Then you have the other one we have, or you can say equipment as well. It can also stand for equipment or equipment. Okay. So and like we said, for data communication for data communication to occur, the communicating devices must be part of a communication system made up of two. The first one we said is the hardware, which comprises of any physical component or equipment. Then the second one is the software. Okay, software. Okay, software, which are programs. Okay, computer programs. Computer programs. Okay, now the effectiveness. So we have said two major important things. You need a hardware and also a software to work. For there to be for data communication to take place, you need two of these components: a hardware and a software. Okay. Now let's continue. For data communication, the effectiveness now of a data communication system depends on four fundamental characteristics. So this is very, very important. So effectiveness, or let's say characteristics of an effective effective data communication. Okay, characteristics of an effective data communication. So here now, under this, we have, for there to be an effective, for you to have a very effective data communication, there are four fundamental characteristics that you have to look out for. So the first one you have there, number one, is going to be the delivery. Okay, the delivery. Now, under the delivery here, the system must, so we're explaining now what we mean by delivery being an effective or being a characteristics of an effective data communication. What do we mean by delivery? So we are explaining that now. So we say the system must deliver. Okay, must deliver data to the correct, okay, to the correct destination, to the correct destination. Now, as we continue, data must be received. Data must be received by the intended device. Data must be received by the intended device or user. And only by that device or user. So basically what we are saying here is that if for there to be an effective data communication, whatever is being transferred or transmitted from one device to another, or from one person to another, must be delivered to that person alone. Okay, must be delivered to that person or to that device that is being sent to. So this is, if it is not, then you don't have an effective data communication. So this is the first characteristics you have to look for to ensure there is effective data communication. The second thing you have is accuracy. Okay, accuracy. So let's talk about that now. The system must deliver the data accurately Okay. Now, data that have been altered in transmission and left uncorrected are unusable. So basically what we are trying to say here now is when there is lack of accuracy, meaning the system, which is what we have just written, the system must deliver the data accurately. That meaning data that have been altered. So we're trying to what they're trying to tell you here is that if, for example, there's an alteration in whatever data is being transmitted, then that data that has been transmitted, that has been altered, okay, is going to be unusable, okay, unless if it is corrected before transmission. But if while transmitting there is corruption in the data, then that means when it is delivering this data to the other person, it's not going to be accurate. You understand? It's not going to be readable, it's not going to be usable. It's going to be unusable as suggested there. So that is accuracy. Now, the third characteristic is timeliness. Timeliness. Now, the system must deliver data in a timely manner. Okay, in a timely manner. Now, data delivered, further emphasis now is given here. Data delivered late are useless. Data delivered late are useless. Now, in the case of video and audio, timely delivery means delivery means delivering data means delivering data as they are produced. As they are produced. Or comma. Let's continue the statement there. Now in the same order, okay, we said in the case of video and audio, timely delivery means delivering data as they are produced. In the same, we continue now, in the same order, okay, that they are produced. Sorry. That they are produced. The same order that they are produced, and without significant delay. Now this kind of delivery is called real-time delivery or real-time transmission. So here let's put some apostrophe so that you can highlight that real-time transmission. Okay, so we said under timeliness, the system must deliver data in a timely manner. Data delivered late are useless, right? Whatever data is delivered late. The reason why the data was sent was for it for the message to be delivered instantly and for it to be used at that moment. But since there is a delay, it is possible that by the time it gets delivered, it's no longer useful, rendering it useless. Now, in the case of video and audio, timely delivery means delivering data as they are produced. Like when you are sending video, or you are maybe, like for example, you are streaming a video from your device and expecting your friends that are watching the live stream, okay, watching it from other side of the world or somewhere else, and while it's streaming, some part of the video is delivered while the others are not delivered. At the end of the day, you that is watching it from one end will feel bothered about this. Okay, so that's why we call it useless, because at the end of the day, you want to watch the video, some part of it is showing, some part of it is not showing. Do you get it? So that's what is being said. Also, the same thing applies to audio. Sometimes you are listening to an audio, you can listen to some, while some are also you can't listen. So every now and then you are noticing a pause. So at the end of the day, whatever message is being transmitted, you can't get the full picture of that message, thus making it difficult for you to understand what is being transmitted. So that's why we call it, or we say it is useless. Okay? So in the case of video and audio, timely delivery means delivering data as they are produced in the same order that they are produced. Because sometimes you can have the video maybe ahead of the sound, or the sound ahead of the video. There are so many times we have seen things like that. And when you are streaming a video, or when a video is recorded, you notice that after the video has been transmitted, you notice that there's corruption. The data has been corrupted. Why? Because sometimes you notice a move in the lips of the person who is speaking, but you didn't hear the sound. Then the sound is coming afterwards. So these are the kind of things we are talking about, that you need to have timeliness needs to be present. Otherwise, communication will be useless. Okay. Now, in the same order that they are produced and without significant delay. You know, sometimes while streaming, you can have a delay of up about 2 minutes or so. You know, some of us that watch football, and you are streaming, you are watching a live stream from a website. You will notice that when the goal has been scored, you listen to your phone, or before the video, while you are watching it, maybe you have people who are watching from the satellite, okay, and you are hearing goal, but while you are still watching, you are still 2 minutes late. You understand? So it will take 2 minutes after for you to be able to reach that part of the video where it shows that the goal has been scored. So this is what we're talking about. So when you have a timely delivery, okay, that is delivery of a particular data at the time when that data has been produced in the same order that they are produced and without significant delay, this kind of delivery is called real-time transmission. Okay, real-time transmission. So that is the third one. Now moving to the fourth. The fourth one is what we call jitter. Okay, jitter. Now this refers to the variation of or variation in the packet arrival time. Okay, it is the uneven delay in the delivery of audio or video packets. For example, so examples makes it easier. For example, easier to understand, of course. Let us assume that let us assume that video packets are sent every 3D milliseconds, 3D ms, that is 3D milliseconds. Okay, if some of the packets arrive with 3D ms. So let's write it this way. I think this way is better to avoid this error. Okay, 3D milliseconds, as we said. If some packets arrive with 3D milliseconds and others with 4D ms delay and an uneven delay or uneven quality in the video, is the result. So basically what they're trying to tell us, let's go through it again. We said jitter, this refers to the variation in the packet arrival time. So a packet is it comprises of your data, okay, whatever data it has been transmitted, whether it is a video, it's an audio, it's a text, whatever, okay, and it also has the destination ID, which is usually the MAC address of the device, the sender and the receiver, and all of that. So all of this is a packet. Now, delivery of that packet or the arrival time means when that packet consisting of this data and its destination and the recipient, okay, the recipient data, that is the recipient ID, whether it is the MAC address of the device that is sending the data and the one that is receiving, okay, the delivery one. So all of these are what comprises of the packet. Now, when we say arrival time is when this packet is arrives at that destination. So we said it is the uneven. So when there is a delay in the delivery of audio or video packets, for example, the example that is given here is an example of a video packet that is sent every 3D milliseconds. Okay, if some of the packets arrive with 3D milliseconds and others with 4D milliseconds delay, an uneven quality in the video is the result. So that's why sometimes some videos, while you watch them, you will notice that it looks clear sometimes, and other times it looks like it's cracking. It looks like the network. Sometimes we notice this with our cable channels when we are watching football or we are watching movies. Sometimes it is very clear, sometimes it is cracking, and you have this. So sometimes what's responsible for this is jitter, an uneven distribution, okay, an uneven delay, in the transmission of the video. So at the end of the day, to summarize what we have said now under characteristics of an effective data communication, we said the first thing, it has to be, the delivery has to be instantaneous. So whatever is being transmitted or transferred should be delivered instantly without any error. 2, accuracy. The system must deliver the data accurately, meaning whatever data is being transmitted or transferred should be accurate. There shouldn't be no alteration, okay, in transmission, and it should be usable, not unusable, okay. Otherwise, if there's any alteration, it will lead to the other data or that whatever is being transmitted to be unusable, useless. Then the third point we mentioned is timeliness, okay. That is data being delivered in a timely manner, okay. Otherwise, if they are not delivered at the time they had been transmitted, they become useless as well. And the example that was given to you is the example in case of a video and audio, okay. And it is said here that timely delivery means delivering data as they are produced in the same order that they are produced and without significant delay. Then we said this kind of delivery is called real-time transmission. Then the fourth one now, which happened to be the fourth, we said there are 4 characteristics of an effective data communication. 4. Take note of this 4, is very, very important in case you are asked in the exam. So the fourth one that is mentioned is called jitter, okay, and we define jitter as the variation in the packet arrival time. The variation means changes in the packet arrival time. And the example that was given is you sent a video, and the video took some part of the video took 3D milliseconds. That's the time now. 3D milliseconds is a unit of time measurement, okay, under data communication. So here, when you hear 3D milliseconds, that's the time. So some part of it took 3D, and the other part of it took 4D. So we said because of this uneven distribution or delivery of this packet, it's going to result to uneven quality in the video. Okay, it's going to result to an uneven quality in the video, meaning the quality in the videos are going to vary from time to time because of this uneven, packet delivery. So this is all we have to say regarding characteristics of an effective data communication. So far now we have explained, defined data communication. We have talked about telecommunication. We talked about where it stems from. We also talked about data. We said data refers to information presented in any form agreed upon by the parties creating and using the data. Data can be in different forms. We are going to come to that when we talk about data flow. Then we talked about also for there to be an effective data communication, 2 components are essential: the hardware, which is any physical component, equipment, and the software, which are the programs that the hardware will be required to work on. Okay, Then we move on to characteristics, which I've just summarized so quickly just now. So now we're going to move on to components of data communication. So people usually, or students usually, confuse this with characteristics of an effective data communication. So you have to be very, very careful when it comes to this. So now, components of data communication. So let's write that. Components. Okay, so there are 5 components of data communication. There are 5 components of data communication. And there are so the first one. So one, message. Okay, message. Now the message is the information, meaning otherwise known as data. Is the information, otherwise known as data, to be communicated. Popular forms of information include, that is, popular forms of data, popular forms of information. Okay, they are used interchangeably sometimes. Include text, numbers, okay, pictures, audio, okay, and video. Okay, so that's the first one, message. The second one now, okay, let's move this downwards so that we can have a very good view. Yeah, so let's move. Okay, 2 now, sender. So the sender is the device. The sender is the device that sends. Okay, that sends the data. That sends the data message. Okay, it can be a computer, okay, it can be a computer, a workstation, workstation, telephone, then you have television, and so on. So that's it. Now the next one, we have the receiver. Obviously, when you have a sender, what comes after is who's receiving. So receiver. Receiver now. The receiver is the device that receives, obviously, that receives the message. The device that receives the message. Okay. To stop. It can be a computer, like we said earlier, computer, workstation, telephone, okay. Telephone, then television, and so on. The fourth one, transmission medium. Transmission medium. So the transmission medium is the the transmission medium is the physical path by which a message travels from sender to receiver, from sender to receiver. Okay, stop. Stop. So let's give some examples. Of transmission media include twisted pair cable, or wire, can also be called wire. Okay, then you have coaxial cable or wire. Okay, fiber optic fiber optic. Okay, fiber optic cable and radio waves. So these are examples of transmission cables. The fifth one now is going to be protocol. Okay, protocol. Now a protocol is a set of rules that govern data communication. That govern data communication or communications. It represents an agreement between the communicating devices without a protocol. Two devices may be connected but not communicating. Okay, but not communicating. Just as a person speaking French cannot be understood by a person who speaks only Japanese. So these are the 5 components of data communication. So let's go through them quickly and we'll conclude the lesson for today with these. So components of data communication, we said there are 5 components of data communication, and all of these 5 you have to know all of them and their functions, which has been given to you in simple form here. So the first one is message. We said the message is the information or data to be communicated. Whatever is to be communicated is the message. Okay. Popular forms of information include text, numbers, pictures, audio, and video. We know about this. When you want to send text, you want to send video, you want to send a particular number, you want to share your profile picture, you want to share an audio, you want to share video. So all of these forms is the message. Now, 2, sender. The sender is the device that sends the data message. So it can be computer, workstation, our telephone, our smartphones, our television, and so on. Okay, examples of sender. Then receiver is the receiver is the device that receives the message, whatever is being transmitted or transferred. It can be a computer, it can be a workstation, it can be television, it can be your smartphone, and so on. Okay. 4, transmission medium. Here, the transmission medium is the physical path, whatever physical medium that is being used to transfer or means by which message travels from sender to receiver. Some examples of transmission media include twisted pair cable or wire, coaxial cable, fiber optic cable, and radio waves. 5. Protocol. We said a protocol is a set of rules that govern data communication. These are the rules that govern. For there to be a successful communication between devices, there must be a protocol. Otherwise, there will be no communication. So it represents an agreement between the communicating devices. Now, without a protocol, two devices may be connected but not communicating. Just as a person speaking French cannot be understood by a person who speaks only Japanese. So I hope the lesson for today is clear, and I'll be anticipating your questions on anything that is not clear so far that has been taught. So if you have any questions, don't forget you can send me a mail on the e-learning platform, and once I receive, I will respond accordingly. And for questions that require emphasis, in the next lecture, answer those questions in the upcoming video that's going to be transmitted to you guys. So do have a lovely day. Bye for now.